Well, after that, where would we go from here? Wonder who's in the pub. Let's go ahead and see.
What about Simon?
I really don't think it's my place, darling.
It is your place here.
I just don't want to tell tales.
Tell him about Simon. You know what happens when you don't do as I say.
Oh.
So it's going to be that kind of evening, is it?
If you play your cards right.
Only if you deal. Problems? Hello, Inspector. See you later.
I think there's only one thing to say in response to that. Ooh, my. I often try to practice my little George Takei impression saying that, oh my. Now, what is this?
Well, isn't that interesting?
Didn't Rebecca say something about how she doesn't like to take any medications and she likes to stay pure?
Couple more questions, if that's okay?
Let's go ahead and ask about this.
The cupboard downstairs, there's a lot of unopened stuff in it.
Is there?
Prescriptions. Made out to you.
Oh, they're just spare painkillers. The chemist always gives us too many. He's a friend of the family.
Isn't that something that could actually, Now, I will admit, I don't have any personal experience working in the field of pharmacy. I don't know what it's like to actually work as a pharmacist. But I'm just guessing. Now, maybe this is different in the UK instead of the States. I'm just perceiving this from the perspective of how it works in the States. Wouldn't you get in trouble as a pharmacist if you gave out too much of a medication to somebody? Even if you are friends with somebody? Aren't you supposed to make sure you give them the actual correct amount of the prescription that you're supposed to give them? And not too much? I'm just wondering if that's something that you can actually get in trouble for as a pharmacist. I'm not sure. That's just something I'm wondering about.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
Call the chief for an update. And we should talk to Ryan about the prescription and visit the lodge again. Really? Well, since we're right here, let's just go call the chief.
Made a bit of a discovery at the pub, Chief. Apparently Rebecca takes what I think is a morphine derivative. She had some on prescription in a cupboard at the pub.
What did she say about that?
Well, I couldn't make her out, to be honest, but she didn't admit it was morphine. And I saw Ryan taking something from the cupboard too. Didn't see what it was, though.
It could have been the same thing. Well, check it out and get back to me, will you?
Certainly will. Speak later.
Okay, bye-bye.
I like how the chief sounds like he is, asleep and we call him at home and he's like, "What is it, Jenks? Why are you calling me this late?" Where were you, Simon? And I'm just saying, if I had pulled something out of my pocket and then I heard something hit the
Simon?
floor...
Probably nothing important, but at this stage, I need all the clues I can get.
I would have turned and been like, "Oh gosh, what did I drop?" I'm a little paranoid in that regard, that if I have something that's not in my pocket that I know is supposed to be there, I'm like, "Oh gosh, where is it? Where is it? Where is it?" I know some people that they will, leave either their phone or their wallet in their car or at home, and I'm just thinking to myself, I couldn't bring myself to do that. I'm the person who is a little paranoid in that regard, that before I leave the house, I check my pockets. I'm like, okay, I have my wallet, I have my phone, I have my keys. What do I not have? You know, like, I'm constantly checking my pockets to make sure that what I am supposed to have is still there. So, I would not be just that careless like Simon was.
A few more questions, please.
Let's go ahead and ask about this, though.
I think you dropped this outside. Someone you know.
Oh, this is just from some IT guy I met. I don't need it.
Fair enough. I noticed some numbers on the back. Do you need these?
I don't know. What is it?
1905?
Oh, yeah, that's just a pin for something. It's okay, I can remember it.
So not an offshore savings account or anything?
No, it's not important.
Kind of gave away that it was, Simon, based on that reaction.
Is this yours?
Yeah. That's from my keys. Where did you find that?
Just outside.
Right. Oh, it must have come off when Nathan dropped my keys off. He was borrowing my car.
That's very trusting.
Yeah, I suppose it is. I am a bit too trusting, really. It's a new car as well.
Now, here's something interesting. He owns a car. Now, this is where one of the only times that the bike is actually... We've had this early. This is when it finally actually, like, comes into play here. That apparently it's the only way you can get to work. Really? But you own a car.
Aha.
So the bike's the only way you can get to work, yes?
Yeah.
What's wrong with the car?
I can't drive the car yet, can I? I don't have my license.
Right.
I got a windfall from an insurance payout. Just figured I'd buy something sensible with it straight away instead of wasting the money.
What was the insurance payout?
It was for a laptop. It got stolen down at Atlas.
At Atlas?
Well, they didn't break in. I think they just walked in and took it. The laptop was in a storeroom, but I think the lock was broken, to be honest.
Doesn't sound like they're taking their security very seriously.
Actually, it got a lot better after that.
Think I'll check it anyway.
Must have been a very nice laptop to be able to buy a car with the insurance. Or a very cheap car. Might have to have a talk with Ryan about his security measures.
I'm just saying. Also, if I had gotten an insurance payout from a stolen laptop, a car, I mean... Okay, I was about to say a car is probably not what I would have gotten, but I'm not exactly driving the best, most reliable car right now. So I'd probably actually consider that if it was just something reliable that wasn't going to cause me issues, which my current car I'm driving actually is. It's more so issues with the computer, you know, like it telling me that I need an oil change when I actually don't, but, you know, stuff like that. But let's just say there are a number of other things I would immediately consider using that money for rather than getting a car, especially when I can't drive it because I don't have my license yet. That's the part that kind of makes me tilt my head and go, what? That's what you considered getting, Simon? Let's ask Emma about these.
Thank you.
Let's see.
Have you seen this before?
Nope. Sorry, never heard of him.
What do you know about this?
This is Simon's. I bought this from when we were on holiday. Has he lost it?
He dropped it.
He can't keep anything.
So let me give it back to you. You notice how they don't keep the things that actually belongs to them. They just give it back to us like, nah, you can go ahead and keep it. Isn't this yours, though? Nah, but you can have it. Because you need it for asking other people in this game.
Did you know about Simon's laptop being stolen?
Yeah, because it had all my college work on it, which I hadn't backed up or saved. Not that it mattered much, but I did buy a new one. And Simon uses it now. When I let him.
I mean, if I was in her position and all my work was on that laptop that got stolen, I would be a little like, look, after what you let happen to that laptop last time, you're not using it unless I say so. Okay, we're not having another laptop stolen when my stuff is on it. Okay, thank you very much. So I don't blame Emma for kind of putting her foot down on that issue there.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
Of course, when I did have a laptop back when I was in high school, I never let it out of my sight. I constantly carried that thing around with me. In case you're wondering why was I allowed to carry a laptop around high school, it's because I was better at taking notes by typing as opposed to writing. I'm not a good hand writer, so I was pretty slow. But I was much better at typing, so I worked out an arrangement with the school where I was allowed to bring a laptop for typing out my notes and such. And we made sure that it was the only thing I could do with that while I was on school grounds, just to make sure that they said the okay on that. But the point is that when I was using that at school, I never let it out of my sight to where it would actually get stolen, like Simon allowed here. But anyways. Alright, well, let's go ahead and move our way down the line here. From James all the way to Ryan. And then we'll figure out what the deal is with that pin on the card.
Ask you a couple more things, please. Recognise this at all?
Yeah, he fixed my laptop.
Does he live locally?
I think so.
I'll be honest, I'm a little surprised that James has a laptop.
Seen this before?
Don't think so.
That's all for the moment. Thank you.
I like how we can't even ask because Jenks just decides, it's unlikely he wouldn't know about it. Even though there are times where he has just straight up said, no. And it's like, okay, Jenks, why couldn't you have come to that conclusion before you asked him and saved us some time? Just saying.
A few more questions, if you don't mind. Do you know who this is? Dean Hayfield, Aztec.
Sorry, never heard of him. We have some prisoner of sort who does our IT. Large guy. No manners.
I'm sorry, did you just say that there's some kind of prisoner guy who is your IT person? I hope when he says that, what he means is that we have somebody who used to be a convict, but he's done his time and now he's reformed himself to be an IT person. I'm just saying, that sounded a little awkward the way he put that.
Seen this before anywhere?
No.
And what do you know about Simon's laptop being stolen from Atlas?
Oh, no, I wasn't happy about it.
What did you do about it?
Ryan paid a con man to install a complicated CCTV system at twice the price that it would probably have cost. Seemed to do the trick, though. We haven't had a theft since.
How do you know he was a con man? But I guess the part about him saying it was twice the price is probably what makes Paul think that. It's like, oh, he's clearly a con man. After all, we had to pay twice what we should have.
A few more questions, if you don't mind. Have you seen this before?
No.
Do you know anything about this?
No, sorry.
Okay, that's it for now. Thank you.
Alright, now we'll head up to Ryan.
Couple more questions, if that's okay. Do you know what the medicine in the cupboard at the pub is for?
You'd better ask Rebecca about that. I'm not exactly sure what's in there. She tends to keep her wares under lock and key. Do you know, our wedding night was quite a surprise.
Ryan, you don't need to share that information. Just saying. What you and Rebecca do in the bedroom, that's your own business.
Know anything about this?
No, I don't. I'm sorry. We have our own IT chap. Lovely chap, in fact. Fat and sweaty, though. It's like a double act, doesn't it?
gosh, I love this actor. He is a hoot.
Have you seen this before?
No, sorry.
Were you at Atlas when Simon's laptop was stolen?
Oh, I believe I was, yes. It was taken from the storeroom in the hallway.
Was it ever recovered?
No, we didn't catch anyone. We're quite exposed out here. Somebody could just have wandered along the lane, seen into the storeroom. It's not particularly secure. They could have been in and out within minutes. That's why we advise people to keep their valuables with them. You can't be too careful these days, Inspector.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
So this is how you can also check the replies.
A few more questions,
I
please.
feel like... Hold on a second. I feel like I missed something here. Wait a minute. I'm actually trying to remember what the next part is here. Because the thing is, we're supposed to find out what these prescriptions actually is or are for. And I feel like I missed something. Also, this is also something we have to take advantage of as well. Oh, gosh. I'm actually blanking on trying to remember what the next part is here. Whether it's... There's a contradiction, because this right here, the number on the back, the thing is, I can't get access to where I need to use it. I think I may have to... Hold on. Alright, let me see here. Oh, that's what it was.
Probably be back later.
So, I'm an idiot because I brought it up and I totally forgot to actually mention this to her.
Ask you a couple more things, please.
So when we asked about this, remember how I mentioned how she said she likes to stay pure? That's what I was supposed to contradict her on with this. My bad. There we go.
So, you don't take any medicines except for prescription painkillers.
Well, they're not actually for me, they're Ryan's. For some reason, the chemist always makes them out to my name. He's an old gentleman.
Does Ryan need prescription painkillers?
Yes, he's got arthritis.
Really? He's young to suffer from that, isn't he?
He doesn't have it badly, but he does need medication from time to time.
What medicine is it?
I couldn't tell you, to be honest. Ryan will know.
So Ryan's the one using the prescriptions. I think I might have a word with him, work out exactly what this medicine is.
Yes,
That's
I
all for
think
the
we
moment, thank
will.
you.
Especially since he was just like, oh, I don't know what's in there. Really? You don't know that she keeps your painkillers in there? After all, she just handed them to you when we were there.
If you don't mind.
Tell me about your arthritis.
Oh, you found out about that. Well, yes, I'm old before my time.
That's very unlucky to have it so young.
Well, I take a lot from life, Inspector, and sometimes life likes to give you a little bit back. I mean, it's not too bad, it's not too debilitating. It's mainly some in my right hand, some in my left hand. It's not particularly a problem. Makes it difficult to hold small things, though.
What do you take for it?
I get a prescription painkiller.
How often do you need that?
Not often, as and when. I keep some here, I keep some at home. It's not a problem.
And that just provided us the next contradiction. He says, oh, I keep my painkillers here at work. Really? Because I recall you said you don't allow any drugs on the premises, and you don't keep any medicines on site.
Aha.
So, you don't keep any medicines on site at Atlas?
No.
Except your prescription painkillers?
Well, these are not available to the students.
But they are kept on site?
Yes, but they're locked away. They're kept in the storeroom. Nobody would have access to them.
You're sure about that?
Absolutely sure.
And what are the painkillers, Ryan?
They're painkillers. Just painkillers. Normal painkillers.
Paracetamol, codeine, morphine.
Well, all right, they're morphine tablets, yes.
Oh, really?
Oh, come on, Inspector. I know what you're thinking, but there's no way Kate could have had access to them.
Because they're in the storeroom?
Well, not just that. She wouldn't have even known about them, or where they were.
Sure about that?
Yes.
So it is
Really?
morphine Ryan's taking. The pieces are starting to come together. Now I just have to work out how Kate got hold of it. If it was Ryan's morphine she got hold of course. Aha.
So the storeroom isn't particularly secure, yet you keep your morphine tablets in there. I thought you said no one could get access to the morphine, but they could, quite easily, couldn't they, Ryan?
I didn't mean that storeroom. I meant a different storeroom. I keep them in there.
Okay. So where was it locked up?
It's upstairs. It's got a combination lock on it. Nobody could have access to it except me and Dad. Nobody.
I might have a look at that if you don't mind.
Don't mind at all.
A combination locked room, I see. Well, I might have a look around for that. See how secure and combination locked it really is. Be back later on, if that's okay.
Excuse me. So now we can go up the stairs. And so now, well, this is where that card and that pin on it comes into play. Why don't you say we go ahead and try out that pin number that Simon said this was, shall we? Well, what do you know? By the way, get ready for some more weird.
Welcome to the Mirror Room. This exercise is all about identifying the difference between the image one presents to the world and one's real self, which lies deep in our unconscious. As you move through the network of mirrors, practice seeing yourself as a stranger. The more you separate from your persona, the more aware you will become of your true desires and ambitions. Chant with us. I am free from my image. I am free from my past. I am free from myself.
I am free from my image. I am free from my past. I am free from myself. I am free from my image. I am free from my past. I am free from myself.
This exercise involves the use of liberation masks. You have now completed Module 1. Module 2 covers boundary testing, threshold testing, and extreme testing. Please read the notes carefully before attempting the module.
I want you guys to remember what that just said. What it said that uses. What kind of testing it uses. So, that PIN number that Simon said it was got into this room, which is apparently the room where the morphine tablets are kept. Well, now this... Ignore the whole mirror room and, like, the whole hypnosis thing for a moment. Let's just focus on that for a moment. We gotta talk to both Ryan and Simon about this, and maybe even Paul as well. Because as you can see, we now have some more things to ask about. So Ryan, I did go into that room. I need to ask you about that.
Can you tell me what you know about the mirror room upstairs?
Oh, you found that then. Well, it's very similar to the costumes, Inspector. It's designed to help the students look at themselves differently.
And what do you do with the mirrors?
You look at yourself, Inspector. You look at yourself until you start seeing yourself as others do. And you don't see yourself as you do anymore. It really, the idea is that you can see yourself eventually any way you wish.
So why in a locked room?
To make sure you're not distracted, that's all.
How often is it used?
Not often, a few times a month. Some students find it useful, some don't.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
Alright, so let's go talk to Paul. Before we go talk to Simon, because obviously we have to confront Simon about this.
Couple more questions, if that's okay?
Can you tell me about the room with the mirrors at Atlas? The one with the combination lock?
How did you get in there?
I was given the code for the combination.
By Ryan?
Well, nobody else is allowed to know the code, are they?
And not in theory.
So how's the room used on the course, then?
It's a meditation room where the students can reflect on themselves, literally.
And what about the CD?
That helps too. It's part of the program.
So you send the students into the room, they put the CD on, they stare into the mirrors. And how long does this last for?
Until the CD finishes or they fall asleep. What else would you like to know?
Uh-huh. We'll come back to this later.
For the time being, thank you.
Now let's go talk to Simon, because we have to bring this up with him, because he straight up lied to us about this.
A few more questions, please.
Do you know about the mirror room at Atlas?
Yeah.
What's it used for?
Well, it's mainly for the auto-hypnosis module. You go in and you stare into the mirror and you go into a trance. Then when you're ready, you come back out.
So you just go in whenever you want to?
Oh, no. There's certain times when you're allowed in, and only they know the combinations anyway, so you can't really get in.
But you don't know the combination?
No.
Liar!
Aha. So you didn't know the combination to the locked mirror room?
Nope.
Except you'd written it down, hadn't you? This is the combination to the mirror room, Simon, that you wrote. It isn't a pin, it's a combination.
Yeah.
You see, this sort of thing makes me suspicious, Simon. What were you doing in there that you didn't want anyone, including me, to find out?
It's just part of the course, isn't it? I just wanted to go in there when I was ready.
On your own? You didn't give the number to anyone else?
No.
Simon, there was morphine kept in that room that might have played a part in Kate Vine's death. Did Kate have the number?
Yes, okay. We both went in.
Together?
We were trying to outdo each other. We both tried some morphine.
What do you mean trying to outdo each other?
It's part of the course. To see how far you can push yourself. To see if you could do something you wouldn't normally do.
When was this?
A few months ago.
How often did you try it?
Only that once. I'd never do it again.
How about Kate?
I don't know. Sorry.
So that's how Kate got the morphine. But what exactly does this testing involve? Could this have been what killed Kate? 11 o'clock. Just an hour left to solve this thing.
And we will continue when we come back, where things are going to get a little more weird and even a little more disturbing. Cautionary warning for those of you watching, especially in the next hour. Something's going to happen that could trigger some people, especially if you don't like... How do I phrase this? Self-harm or not mutilation, but causing harm to oneself to the point where you actually cause yourself to bleed. So, just a warning for the next video, for those of you that are bothered by that, okay? Stay tuned.